Hey girl.
Yeah, you got it.
She just had a longer charger. Oh, no, how's Carter?
We waiting on I was just going to read a bill and North and what's the
His wife didn't even start yet.
No.
Oh,
Which day?
who you the baby?
Right.
See, it's just a weird, like, I'm sitting around you, I'd like never seen this.
I want to go see that.
Feel
What
weird
time
in
is
my
it?
heart.
Only got no.
Can you text me?
Yes.
What room he in?
I'll let you know.
Because I actually want to see that. What if you're about to be pumped up? Yeah. I mean, y'all want to replace that and everything? Oh, yeah.
405.
On your feet, lose your seat, Dan. Don't you already know that?
That's what I'm
Right.
Oh, she's just on the right.
Oh, yeah, you're so good.
Keep driving 1 second.
Well,
I haven't seen. I saw him there. I was like, oh, but I haven't seen him.
There's a couple of debates. My bad, I thought the big was.
No, it's all good. Hey, how close is the bathroom? It's like all the way down the hall to
Are we in bed? Oh, you'll be around. Are you in a rush?
Well, I got an assignment due at 1 o'clock.
Oh, why did you say that?
I was
Pushing
pushing.
Like, it's just, you don't want to do it. You don't want to graduate. Go ahead.
No, like 1 o'clock is Oklahoma time, though. Not 1 o'clock there.
Oklahoma time? So like
How much
one? That's an
Okay,
extra hour.
you better. Okay, so you got to. All right, come here. I'm gonna give you his number. It might do you to give him a call.
Yeah. Cause she picked me.
Oh no. Yeah. Why don't you just? Oh, sorry. Because they just call him.
Well, you're not judge. That's what I
You're so weird.
I know, but I guess take a picture of it.
I thought that was that question.
Like he's a highway.
It's case. Small review on case. It's K. And then the first thing I would do on the line by line will be the perm and then the alt stuff. And then it'll just be straight down.
You said that again?
So, case with an overview, K, and then the first thing I'm getting to on the line by line on the K is the permutation and the alt stuff. And then it'll just be straight down from there. Is that good for everyone?
So I have the 1 and 9 permutation stuff. Actually, never mind. Go ahead. You got it.
Alright, let's go.
We have begun our analysis at the level of the map that tries to make blackness coherent. And then these subsequent mapping your plantation. Therefore, we say that we should embrace manage a form of breaking away from the structure and see black violence. And therefore, that embrace away from what makes the violent coherent there too now. A benefits that you want to see there function not properly handling. The first going to be criminal, so that's the content that indicates that we have a material that benefits that able to teach other different forms of violent pedagogy to handling that better because it means that we able to have some form of external. So obviously, the second one's going to be the following. Then indicates we refuse how we refuse our hierarchy. We refuse our right of black what functions all allow. The office that going for the criticism, but that means that we able to break away from the idea of slaveocracy in the first place. And also, they can see there. Damn me, friend, that 9 minutes out of Tuesday indicates that you show what the material that links are based on effective where we made a functional can indicate we have 1% resistance obviously that means you function for a friend because about mutual they even indicates that the Tuesday that they it's material that means that we internally indicates our pedagogy is handling that better can actually results from the offensive side of the message I get set on the framework also the framework subpoints that interpretation this means they attempt to fantasy the handling by we resolve all the words and folly by on the criticism also now you can view the first argument they're trying to make a distinction from the way in which we're talking about black people don't have adequate relations to how language into the colony and that's what we're going to indicate that even if that function true we still result left because that indicates how we see that black people are able to collectivize together and therefore we're able to raise that lack in the first place that means we don't have to have that tone from the attempt to try to become the game can't coherence now also onto the criticism I want you to send a multiple precepts and never so we see it's going to be terminal defense for the debate because it indicates that we're not the edible nuclear family that the criticism is assuming rather we're saying that we able to break down that form embrace and trying to return to the whole because blackness is the adaptive family results in their offense because it's not a attempt to create map that form inside but rather it's a breakaway for desire and the first sake with the whole thesis of the UNC's that mirror are able to come together and theorize different forms of engagement. The first office are going to send the outcry piece evidence they've dropped coming out there to UNC in case the Western that the erasers from the you don't friendly this city from the rather we don't assume that friend enemy divide that's the it's like well outcries indicate that means the way even if you say that Georgia black person still doesn't assume the Western literature can because always I'm going to send you permutation that we can do this inside the murder just going to be in that but especially with the gospel piece evidence and they get that magical stole philosophy the magical soul things like therapy from legal problem that means that even if they function with a defense that George can be black they still appropriate that form of violent causation of black scholarship that means that we function on all of the offense also a damning concession we can see that the base are handling violent because this is the plantation why should we the seconds out the base that means you're going to function vote from try down the permutation because they only practice inside violent plantations but not also onto the permutation they say about the we're going to make a difference this is about survivor they say that we shouldn't value competition that means that you rush for the friend because we have the best modes of by including both the methods at the same time. No alternative, we're going to impact on that because we said the alternative becomes trying to start a violent process by engaging inside this psychological practice on the base. They say they want to see we're going to be shitty, but that's problematic because we have indicated out these we contextualizing all the arguments we really want to see this takes out any of their frame they made inside the one that indicates they're able to pick out one card from the week. That's not just a bad model of the because it means they get a skill any of what I want to see that means they get to pick out any particular word and you want to see that also they call it the nail sign the language of fungibility but when you get to pick out you want to see that also approve the language of fungibility this function links it back to also alternative favorite high and go to the alternative source. I think this is other way around because the one he has the best way to break away from the fantasy is out there. Two arguments they say to disrupt the fantasy. No, the one to see or disrupt that fantasy because we're not trying to have those drive to a hierarchy that follow you're talking about. We don't have the desire to wild black, rather we break away from that having a communal forms engagement. They say there's no stable advocacy out there on the permutation that's having president because you get to pick out of any form that we defend our advocacy every single speech they want to see has been particularly kisses. They had to prove one link. That means they win. No, it doesn't. That's the reason why you should be rejected because that means you get to pick out of any method. That's just inherently bad for debate. Now also I'm gonna go straight down right here. The first argument I'm gonna answer the way in which they frame debate. They have ways they said they wouldn't fund a functional superstructure claim by the like we're gonna impact on that. We're not make ourselves rather make offensive claims by the way it was the desire when it's always frames black side of conversation. They say structural they say the word structure by like even if that's functional we still have a better internally resolved that. That's all the arguments about Musa making the also they say that speech in the debate is material. We're gonna impact on that because that means that we're gonna impact on that because that means you say speech in debate is material. That's only gonna be a president bound because you revitalize the black side on the plantation. They say social they say that we don't defend the social depth. These look combi because we're not going for what it's we're still but if it's not part of folly in the case we're not trying to have that drop to the design in the first but they say that folly everything becomes a plantation type of thing can touch no weed in the case of Jane in the case there are ways in which you can break away from the plantation but that's going to the survivability that we indicate no criticism. They say that we don't assume that Georgia black person we're going to impact. I'm going to do the co-buildings that I right here because they write a white woman that's the Robin Jason piece of it's funny what is he why or should we have co-will respond that takes on any form of link. There's no role of better come in from the tree and see that means that you're going to function on that because function of all the front because we have the best woman actually breaking down the structure. Also there's a functional threshold for delete link defense I had to do because they said that we always make black paths within word which they can see that we have to respond to those form of white ones. That means that we have better forms of internalized reflection via the rumors. That means that we don't make black pathology.
They say they make a role of judge about the judge being analytic. We say that's wrong because it obscures the materiality of how we create pedagogy.
It obscures the materiality of how we create pedagogy inside the space. We internally link on that debate is violence, so that means a low threshold for winning that we should do it outside the base space. They say this validation link. This is a no link argument because we indicate that we focus on the community, not the validation of the individual. What functions all the offense. Even if that's true, we have a functional dissent to why debate is violent, why the alternative will never solve. Even if that's functional true, the leaks up to the oh shit.
846.
Yeah, that's what she had it, which was
What out?
and when I got sent I was like, I was talking about.
Okay, you just played or you just started watching that? The reason why I've been into a lot of shows is because like there comes a point right before you got to do comprehensive exams, you have to do like 200 books or something like that. And that was the only fast one. There's so many shows that I never watched Game of Thrones, but the only reason why I watched the show is like, oh my god, I must have watched this like 6 seasons. That was then like crazy and just started dying. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Gotta stay with the vibe.
The only reason why it's like Max and Ray too, like they ain't got any cars.
You're a Red Bull.
It's bad.
Yeah, no, because we already have the other teams scouted, so we want to see if they're done with everything that they did right now.
What's the
I'm pretty surrounded. I'm pretty good with talking with the kids. I think that I'll just like go around. Because Cass and Ryan are kind of feeling uncomfortable doing so. I'm sorry.
What's the order?
I'm waiting till the judges are ready,
Oh,
so I
okay.
can just give it once. Okay, so the order is going to be the K, like overview of the top, and then it's just like straight down order of the 1AR.
Did you say you were going to kids or not?
No.
Easy negative out when they still have no defense to the correctness of our theory explaining that subjectivity is structured by a lack of fact. The entree, the 1AR says that they're not about ontological, about the desires of whiteness to frame blackness, which means that it moved. Their 1A seems to be closer to the alternative, which means that actually lowers the bar for what I have to do on the negative, because they talk about it just a better internal link to accessing our frame, which means that if I just have a single piece of offense against their affirmative to prove why we're mutually exclusive, or why we're distinct, that means you can vote negative. That means the concession number 3 means that no action, whether it's burning down the word or joining LBS, will fulfill these steps, which means that it doesn't lead to fulfillment. It leads to lash out at anyone who disagrees, because be that black queers, black women, poor black people, because it's considered what you said with the valorization link. The frame of analysis, the best mode, because it's how we create material change. The speech acts, our speech acts are material within this realm, because they concede it creates a paradigm shift for how we view the world. You can't actually engage. You can't actually engage in the building of the communes that they talk about within the debate space. Within the debate space, which means their speech acts and the constructing of paradigms is the only thing that we can't access within this sphere, which means our frame of analysis means a presentation of a theory that can explain how black people can explain violence solves the impact of the one you see with the residual offense being outweighed by the lash out, diss out. Now they lie about when they say black people collectivize together, but lash out, diss out, and the valorization link means that the communities are going to fracture when their anger at the lack of fulfillment by identifying new figures of whiteness, figures of whiteness, whether it be black women talking about intersectional struggle, which means that actually fractures their coalitions. The conceded argument, I can group the masterpiece about they conceded our analysis about the distinction between Freud and Lacan. The argument that Freud is in the context of the nuclear family, wherein the child's fantasy is disrupted by the parent, normalizing the Oedipal subject that they came must have been. In contrast, Lacan says it's when we enter the world of language, not necessarily talking about the parent, which means that the muster evidence and criticism of Lacan, which also means it's not offense for them. Offense for them. This context also muster doesn't make it. It's just it's descriptive rather than prescriptive.